7:40 now. We're back. The John F. Kennedy Profile and Courage Award was created back in 1989 to honor his legacy, and to celebrate people who showed the political courage that he admired most.
Well, this weekend, as part of the celebration of the 100th anniversary of his birth, his daughter, former ambassador to Japan, Caroline Kennedy, and her son, Jack Schlossberg, will present this year's award, and it's going to former President Barack Obama.
And they are with us now exclusively. Ambassador Kennedy, Jack, it's good to see you guys again. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
You were here not long ago, and we talked about the times we're living in and the dysfunction in Washington and in politics in general. I was wondering, is it harder these days to find political acts of courage, or do political acts of courage jump out more and stand out more amidst this?
Well, that's a good question. I think that really this award is about encouraging people to both require it in our public officials and look for ways that we can be more courageous in our own lives. So all of us, because I think that doing what's right is something that we need a lot more of.
And President Obama, of course, is the recipient this year. Did you identify certain instances where you said, okay, that was an act of political courage, that he went out on a limb there and he didn't have to?
Well, Jack was on the committee that chose President Obama. I was in Japan, but I'm thrilled with the choice, and I think there are many kinds of courage, and he demonstrated more than one of those, and I think that certainly.
Right. Well, I mean, in 2008, I was inspired by President Obama's vision for America and all the promises that he laid out for our country, and this award really recognizes that he made tough choices over the last 8 years to execute on that vision, to give people health care, to get serious about climate change, and to reach out to international partners and really improve America's standing in the world. And that takes political courage, and I think we're seeing today that it's pretty easy to criticize without offering solutions, and President Obama did not do that. He had the courage to govern responsibly.
Yeah, you're 22, right?
24.
24, excuse me. Graduated from Yale.
I did.
About to go
by the skin of my teeth.
About to go to law school.
Yes.
At Harvard. People are going to get to know you now. You studied your grandfather and his legacy quite a bit. What did you learn by looking back at his life and his career?
Well, my favorite speech of his is his speech that he gave at Rice University, explaining to America why we should go to the moon. And in that speech, he said that great challenges are actually great opportunities. And so I think that that's a really important thing to remember today, when, for my generation, when it seems like things couldn't be any worse, we're going to inherit a world that has a lot of unsolved problems. I think it's important to remember that those are opportunities and that we can rise to the occasion if we choose good leadership.
Ambassador, when you look around today, do you still think politics is a noble calling? And also, do you think it will still attract people of worth, people that you would, the kind of caliber that you would want to serve in public office?
Absolutely. I think it's a noble calling. I have great respect for people who really dedicate themselves to public service, and I think that we're seeing now how important it is. More and more young people are willing to do community service, but they don't necessarily see politics as the way to solve problems. But I think President Obama really brought in a new generation, just like President Kennedy did, and certainly the generation that was inspired by my father transformed this country in civil rights, the Peace Corps space, and I think that the generation that President Obama has brought into public life, my children among them, are going to go on to do great things.
That's just like that. Yeah, real good segue.
Jack, you know the look your mom can give sometimes, right? As a kid, you know that, right? When I've asked her a certain question in the past, she's given me that look, all right?
You haven't even seen the look.
I haven't. So let me try it differently. Would you like to see your mom run for elected office?
I will support my mother in anything she does. I love her so much, but that's her decision, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay, and Ambassador Kennedy, would you like to see your son Jack get into the family business?
I love my son Jack, and I would support whatever decision he makes.
Okay, I would like the record to reflect that neither of you answered that question. So you're ready for politics.
Do you feel pressure? Do you get the questions, Jack? I mean, everybody expects you to take a certain path. Right. Do you feel the pressure on your shoulders?
Well, I mean, I'm inspired by my family's legacy of public service. It's something that is I'm very proud of, but I'm still trying to make my own way, figure things out, and so I stay tuned. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Courage takes many different forms. So I want to talk about a form of courage, and I want to put an image up on the screen if I can. That is a bold move, Ambassador Kennedy.
Met Gala.
From the Met Gala this Monday. Now, you look great.
Well, thank you.
Did it take a little bit of convincing?
I had to convince everyone else. But you know what? It's really interesting because the person who the exhibit is honoring is actually also somebody who was willing to go against the popular grain and do what she thought was right and courageous. So I think that we can look for, great individuals with the courage to, do what they think is right, and right there.
Well,
what
we
can
should say the event celebrated avant-garde fashion.
Yeah.
Now, Jack, your outfit wasn't that courageous, but you look very good.
Thank you. That's what counts, I guess.
Guys, it's nice to have you here. Good luck on Sunday when you hand out the Profile and Courage Award, and we'll all be thinking later in the month when we mark the anniversary of what would be or have been your dad's 100th birthday. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
We should mention MSNBC will have special coverage of the Profile and Courage Awards ceremony. That's Sunday night starting at 8 Eastern Time.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.